Yes, Dr. Bassam Nasr. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. There's always an advantage to being the last person in the lineup. For one thing, I will be able to address any points that remains on your mind after after you have heard from everyone else. At the same time, I will accept the fact that you must be tired and exhausted, and I can skim through some things and give myself an excuse not to go into some details. My name is Bassam Nasr. I'm seeking the partial term for the SC4 Board of Trustees position. And I'll be talking about transparency and openness and communication. And in fairness and openness, I want to admit that the reason I chose to run for the partial term, one of the reasons I chose the partial term, is that I thought that all the current incumbents will be going for the 6th term. So I thought this would be an opportunity to get through, and then once you all and the community sees me in action, I know that I will be coming back for the longer term. So I'm committed to this community, I'm committed to this college, and the only reason I'm choosing the partial term is not like I want to see if I like this job or if I want to spend 2 years then do something else. It's the beginning of a long relation, and I want to disclose that. And again, the reason that I chose to run for this was the fact that I didn't want to run against current incumbents, knowing that 2 of them were appointed by the board. And I put my hat in the ring on both occasions. When Jim Raskins retired, I thought this would be an opportunity for me to contribute more to the college and to the community. And then again, when Officer retired, I put my name again. So I'm a persistent person. I still think that I can bring value and I can bring something important to this community and to the college. And it's not like I'm any different than any other candidate, but I in some way bring a different perspective and a different background. So it's true I am a physician, but I'm not just a physician. I have played a leadership role in Physician Healthcare Network, which is a multi-specialty physician partnership that we started back in 1994. And I have been the leader of that group, one of the founders, the president, the medical director, and I have been able to rally the group around important ideas and important needs of our community. So we're able to bring needed services to areas that have difficulty recruiting physicians and retaining physicians. We innovated patient care solutions. We started back in 1994 what healthcare is moving to today. Patient-centeredness, after-hour care, bringing contribution to mid-level to the care of patients, just being able to do what's financially sound, at the same time what's best for the customers and what's best for the community. And we reach every other corner of the county. So I'm not someone who's sitting in Fort Huron or Fort Gratiot and spending their life there, and whenever they have free time, they are leaving the community to do something else. I'm invested in the community, trying to reach every corner of this community and identify the needs and help out. And anything I share with you today, any participation I did, anything I felt like I'm giving to the community, in reality, all my attributes everything good about me, I have gathered from the community, from the role I played, from the things I have done all those years. Take the example of the St. Clair County chapter of the Red Cross. When Jim Rackett was the executive, I was on the board there, and I completed a 9-year term, and I served as the chair for 3 of those. That was a huge learning experience for me about government. Everybody around the table are actually volunteers and managers of their department. So here you have a managing board, which is opposite of what I perceive is the role of the board of trustees, which is an important distinction between managing and between the strategic role, looking for the future, seeing where the future takes us and where we need to be as an organization. Yet, as a division leader, I was and still serve as on the Michigan State Medical Society Board of Directors. This is the advocacy role that I love. I represent the physicians of St. Clair, Sanilac, Huron, and the Peel counties. I advocate for them and on behalf of them and on behalf of the patients when we go to Lansing. And I'm on the Michigan delegation to the AMA, where we advocate on behalf of Michigan physicians to Washington and on behalf of the patients that they serve. And when I think of the possible role I would be playing as a board of trustees for the SC4, I wanted to see me as an advocate, and will be an advocate for all the stakeholders of this college, students, faculty, staff, and yes, the community. I recognize that I will be elected by the community to represent the interests of the community and what is best for the college and for this community. And I think by taking time detailing some of these issues, I'm trying to again show that I have learned and grown to be a person different who I was when I came to Fort Huron in 1988. But as I was transformed, I have transformed every organization I was part of. And I was not alone. I recognize that I was surrounded by dedicated individuals who served as board members of various organizations. We identified community needs. We had them manage their resources and prioritize where they should deploy their resources. I have had the privilege when I joined the Community Foundation Board to lead the strategic planning group, and we created, I think, we coined the term people and place. We figured by improving the place, by projects like the River Walk and art and culture and other things, we make this place a destination for people to come and live and prosper here. And by improving the people that live in the place, like through education, and what we do in the college will be along those lines of making this a better place and making the people more educated and enjoy being part of this community. And I see the future, how the prosperity of this community is tied to the prosperity of this college. I have talked to many individuals who choose retirement communities in Arizona and Florida and other places, and I always ask them, what makes you choose that particular town? Many times they tell me that there's a college, that they want to stay engaged, they want to go to adult classes. So when I think, what keeps us from making this Bluewater Area a destination for retirees, maybe not in winter when they want to go to Arizona or Florida, but all in the fall, in the summer, in the spring, and that will bring jobs to young people because if seniors choose this community for their retirement, they have resources to spend and time to spend. So this is something good for the community. And the other thing which I have spoken about before is that I see the college preparing our young. So I talked about how it could be a place where seniors and retirees would come and enjoy being part of this, but it could also be the place where we're not only preparing students for their first career, but we are preparing them for life. I saw recently, and I'm sure many of you would have seen that in the Wall Street Journal, they asked employers and human resource people from a lot of organizations about the traits that they are looking for when they are hiring new employees. And what they are looking for are not the technical skills. They feel like we can teach technical skills on the job. And I know that firsthand from how we continue to train our employees as the new technology keep happening in healthcare. What they are looking for are individuals who have good communication skills, that can write good, can play teamwork, individuals that are lifelong learners that will be able to learn the next job and the following job and the 10th job, because life is constantly changing around us, and I think I see how this college will do extremely well by positioning itself to do just that, prepare the young people for the future, any future, not a certain specific job, and also be available for individuals who want to retire and enjoy this community in their retirement. So these are, I sort of highlighted some of the things. I don't know if I was answering any particular question, but maybe I was, and now I can sort of go into more details in some of the issues. The overarching theme of the questions that Bob gave us is basically communication, transparency, and openness. I mean, whether it's the question on shared governance, whether it's the question on visiting the campus, whether how to reach with the new ideas to the students and to the community, and televising the meetings. I think the connecting theme here is that you are asking me where I stand and what are my thoughts on being open, being transparent, being communicating with the stakeholders of the college. And my answer to that is yes, absolutely. At the pizza gathering the other night, it occurred to me, and we talked about that, why don't we have this pizza gathering every week or every month, not only as an election forum. Let's feel the pulse of this organization. I can't see how board members can come and sit on a sideways table here and allow faculty to talk for a minute or two, then feel that they have all the information necessary to make decisions. I say that now today. I know you are recording me, and I'll say it in the presence of the board, and I can see how a board can make a decision without getting the input of all the stakeholders. The president of the university, no matter how good he or she is, does not represent faculty, does not represent students, does not represent staff. We need to hear as a board where the faculty stands on every issue. We need to hear as a board where students stand on every issue. We need to hear as a board where staff stands on every issue. And the community needs through us to learn what are we basing our decisions on. The other day I found it interesting, the Times Herald, they wrote a nice article commending the board decided to renovate an existing building instead of putting a new building for the savings of so many $1 million, how good this board is. My question is, what else was on the table that was not discussed? Do we need to renovate the building to start? Could we train some of these allied science individuals at the bedside or somewhere using the new technologies where we save even more $1 million? So here we have a board that decided to put a new building, then they decided, no, we'll renovate another building, we'll save $2 million. Well, what other options were on the table? What other ideas were there? Did we do a deep inquiry to see what else can be done? How can we reach our goals of teaching these students without spending any money, perhaps? I'm just throwing this to say that we need fresh thinking, we need fresh ideas. And I have heard some board members, we were at the forum that the Chamber of Commerce and the Council of Aging put. I heard the message was clear. Like, we are a great board, we have now a great president, we need to stay the way we are. They feel so cozy doing what they are doing. My question is, if we have such a great president, which probably we do, why don't we maximize her potential and see what most we can get with this new president by bringing new board members and new ideas and new ways of thinking, out-of-box thinking, etc. Now back to the shared governance, I think the faculty needs to have the sense of ownership of the college. They have to have a sense of being able to communicate their needs and their outlook, and I think there should be a channel of communication between the faculty and the board, number one. Number two, I believe there should be some representation, formal or informal, of where faculty stand on issues so that the board will make good decisions. Now, shared governance is not a new concept for me. As a physician, we have shared governance. Physicians and hospital administrators coexist, and they have done that for 100 years and more, where you have the medical staff by law, where the medical staff elect their leadership, and they identify the clinical guidelines and practice guidelines and issues of safety and patient outcome and quality, and physicians are represented on the board of directors of the organization, where I am a physician on the board of directors of McLaren Porturo. I'm not advocating I'm not in the same role as a physician leader. I'm there as a knowledgeable physician that brings a physician perspective to every discussion. And I'm not alone. Dr. Nyber was there. She was chair of the board, and there are always 2 to 3 physicians out of a total of 13 or 14 board members. So I think I would have no problem speaking to this issue. Again, some of the things I'm saying now, I will have to adjust or recalibrate based on the law and what a community college can and cannot do. Like in the hospital, you cannot have more than a certain percentage of board members who are physicians, for example. I mean, there are some things that the legislators always find to make sure that no single constituency is dominating the discussion or the agenda. And again, which I think is an attribute I want you to think about, for me being a physician, who is a business owner, who is for-profit, being able to play the role of a board member in a not-for-profit organization, being able to wear the hat of what's best for the community in every discussion, forgetting what's in it for me as a person or for Physician Healthcare Network as a group of private practitioners. I think this is a skill that I think I have learned and gained by all the work I have done in governance and in leadership. Now, did I use all my time?
Well, I want to make sure that anyone who has questions can ask. But, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Nasr?
You have participated on several boards, correct?
Yes.
I thought so. That's good. Thank you.
You know, currently I'm on the Community Foundation Board of Directors, and I'm finishing my term. I have one more year to go. So I think they will, I'm not supposed to say that yet, but they will have me as vice chair on my last year there. And I'm finishing my last year of my last term at McLaren Port Huron. And I'm finishing in April. I'll finish my last year of my last term at Michigan State Medical Society Board. So I know that I can make the commitment for the college, and in a few months I will be devoting the majority of my time to what we need to do here.
Any other questions? Dr. Nasr? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.